Okay, here's the mess. Today I decided to try constructing a moss pole that I can mount directly onto the wall, and it's right here, already planted with a excuse me, Monstera adansonii cutting. This was actually from the very last Monstera adansonii pot and pole that I pulled out of the other room. That was pretty much on its way out. I took what the best cuttings I could salvage, and this is one of them. Right there. And this is going to go directly onto the wall. I drilled a hole in the back at the top, as you can see, and there is a screw waiting for it with a wall anchor. And the idea is not to have a pot on this at all. There's a little bit of my regular mix inside, already pre-dosed with the Bonai granules, so it's already getting hit against thrips. And I'm leaving the top empty for now because, again, I just want to see how this goes. It'll get watered with one of my basters. I use them quite extensively. And here is the Neon Pothos, almost ready to get its top section put in. That'll be in the next week or so. And here is Stumpy. Let me move that newly built pole to show off the Dieffenbachia. They're each in the process of either putting out a new or unfurling a new monster leaf right there, and it's got two babies. There you can see growing under there. Dosed and back to happy. I like that. Okay, and there is again the new Monstera adansonii wall pole. I think there's a town in Massachusetts called Walpole. There is the Cebu Blue, recovering nicely, I think. And now we are going to magically transport to the other room. Okay, did some light rearranging earlier today. I basically swapped the Silver Sword and the Painted Lady to its right. They just traded places. It gave me better fill of the space and more leaves exposed to the light for the Painted Lady, and less leaves of one plant are touching the leaves of another plant. In fact, I think I don't have anything touching over here. But the distance between the Pink Princess and the Gigas did not increase. So it's a better use of this space. And I think it's still quite nice visually. No real repetition, nice alternation of light and dark. So here is the Dieffenbachia going ahead with its new leaf, but not a major improvement in color. So we'll just keep an eye on him. If it stays this way and keeps growing and, upsizing the leaves, but just adopts this mint color, I don't know if I'll be all that pissed off, but I'm hoping that the color will come back once it's done absorbing all of the wonderful imidacloprid. Here is the rubber tree, the ficus. What was the air-layered branch with its dusty leaves and all. I don't dust that often here. This is Colorado, and everything gets dust back on it after 2 days. And I'm just sick of going over everything with a rag. It's not what I'm about. Here is the Pink Princess leaf, still flattening out a little bit. It's now in the process of really slowly expanding. It'll get a little bit bigger, not by much, but it is expanding, and then it will harden off, and it's looking quite nice. It's got some interesting modeling thing going on over there. We'll see what happens with the next leaf. I don't know how visible it is, but it also has an increase in the petiole striping. At least so it seems to me. The petiole is still brand new. It hasn't really fully opened up yet with that groove. But there is a slight change, I think, in the coloration on the petiole itself coming up from the stem. We'll see. I do say that a lot. And there is the, let's show you the Monstera Adansonii, the new top cutting. New leaf is coming out. Encouragingly, it's got the right color, and it's going to be a little bit larger than the two leaves prior to it. So good news there. The crocodile, the golden crocodile, is putting out a new leaf, and here is, as always, the star of the show, the Philodendron gigas, right there, and you can see that beautiful rusty, looks like it's almost in patches, and it really depends how the light hits it and bounces back to your eye. I think there's a bit of optical trickery going on here by way of refraction through the velvety there must be microscopic hairs on these leaves because they have a velvety texture. I'm guessing those are tiny hairs, and they must be doing something with light. But there's that really nice rusty, it looks almost like streaking there. And then if you look down the leaf this way, you should see it. If the camera reflects what my eyes see, it'll turn greener in the center. And then when you look at it head on, it's maybe the same. Yeah, you can see that dark. It's showing that lime green already. That darker lime green, or emerald, if you want to call it that. But the colors on this plant are just great. I love it. The top four leaves are all slightly different colors, starting with the rust, and then it's just slowly darkening shades of that emerald or lime green, going all the way down the plant, and it holds its leaves. The only leaves I lost from this plant were what I removed when I took the two tiny side shoots off at the base, one of which was really the original plant. This is actually a side shoot that the original plant developed after being static for well over a month and a half. It arrived damaged, both crushed and cold stressed, because the supplier I bought it from, who's got a little bit of a name, packed it like idiots along with the rest of the plants that they packed. They were all jammed together in a small box, crushing each other, and in spite of my express suggestions, they weren't exactly suggestions, they only put one heat pack in, and this was going to Colorado in early spring, so I won't say anything more. There's a cool looking mushroom growing in that pot. You can see that white fungi there, or fungus. And the pink princess pup is also unraveling a newly increasingly variegated leaf. So I think at least on this wall, because this wall gets better light as far as the pink princesses are concerned, the only difference in both of them has been the fertilizing. Both of those leaves were entirely grown after beginning a regular fertilizing regimen with a good liquid fertilizer. So I think there's something to be said for all the people who cry about losing their variegation. Make sure the plant's getting the nutrients that it needs and the light that it needs, and that'll probably go a long way. This pink princess, for instance, does not get the same amount of light, and I might move it and pop the syngonium up there and pop this down to the floor where it's more directly opposite a 60 watt. Right now it's just getting one rib of the 60 watt. I want it to get all four if I can help it. There's the rest of the crowd. There's one of the other Monstera adansonii restarts that I did yesterday, possibly the day before. It's all a blur. But there you go. There's one single stem plant on the right, a double stemmed single plant in the middle with one leaf, and a multi-leaved single stem plant on the left. Yes, we are going for a little bit more bushy, and 3 rows of holes, so the competition is on. There is just a quick close-up of what a painted lady's new leaf coming out looks like, and I'll show you a close-up of a leaf. I hope the camera focuses on it. It looks three-dimensional, the speckling. There we go. Every time I look at these leaves, I'm just blown away by how they look. And there, of course, are the 2 Gigas babies, each in the process now of unfurling their leaves. It's funny, the one on the right, which started out with 1 leaf, with that orange streaking right there, that's the last leaf, the last very original leaf left from when I got the plant shipped to my door. Just to give you an idea. The giant, the much bigger one that I keep filming started out from this. And this I must have gotten probably in April, sometime in April, either early April or mid-April, if not late March. So there you go. Now we can see the entire process, and I wish I had a time lapse. So we're almost done here. The Alocasia cuprea Red Secret, the other one, doing splendidly. And I moved the other one of the 3 Alocasia Beginda Silver Dragons to here, to the middle of the room, because it was getting dripped on by the silver sword I showed earlier. And here are the now 2 new leaves of the Gupertia ornata, and you can see what an improvement that very last leaf, the one on the left, is showing. So this is beginning to come along nicely, and we'll stop again at the corner here with one last look at the brand new leaf on, sorry about that, on the Pink Princess. So we have a bunch of retools done on the on some moss poles, repairs on, and cuttings on some of the Monstera adansonii, and testing out an idea for a flat against the wall pole planter that doesn't have a pot and is nice and light, and we'll see how it ends up looking with a Monstera adansonii on it. Now I got to get ready for some snow that's on the way.